All right, welcome to the Moto Mentor podcast, where my goal is to bring people on who have found some sort of success in the moto industry and for them to not only tell their story, but almost act as a mentor to you, the listener, and to also break down, the mindset, the tactics, the habits, the skills, and the character traits that have helped them get to where they're at today. So today, we got Cochran here at only 17 years old, almost 18, getting ready to race his first full season as a professional motocross racer, and has a laundry list of achievements through his amateur career. Lots of Loretta Lynn's titles, pretty much won any race as an amateur that you'd ever want to win. And I'm sure, wants to continue adding to that list of achievements in his pro career. But yeah, what's up, Casey? Stoked to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here and kick this thing off. But yeah, it's been a good career so far, and we're moving up the ladder to get into the pro ranks and race with the big boys. So yeah, we got outdoor season coming up soon. So yeah, I'm stoked to get out there and get after it.
Yeah, it's exciting for sure to step up from the amateurs into the pros. But so the first thing I want to ask you, I want to kind of dive straight into the stuff that I just mentioned, right? Like the habits, the character traits, the mindset that got you to where you're at. Because I'm a big believer in those things getting people to where they got. I'm sure you've heard it. Maybe people that you grew up racing with. Oh, he's talented, right? Or oh, he got lucky, or he had the bikes and the factory rides, or his parents had money. People talk about this sort of stuff. I don't know anything about your parents or if they have money or whatever, but you hear these type of things throughout racing and the moto industry. And I'm a believer that, maybe some that can kind of play a part sometimes, but I think it's more about the character, the habits, the mindset. So I want to hear from you, like what character traits you feel that maybe your parents instilled in you, or just the character traits that you possess that you feel have helped you succeed thus far.
Yeah, a lot of people can say, it does give you an advantage if you have more money growing up, or maybe you get a little more opportunity, a little nicer stuff. But at the end of the day, if you want it bad enough and this is your dream and you want to race dirt bikes professionally, then if you really put your mind to it and really just pursue what you believe in and what you really want to do, no one can really stop you. But I was fortunate enough to have a pretty good upbringing, and I was helped out by Cobra and teams at a young age and stuff. So I've had it for a while, but I had a year on Super Minis where we went back to square one and started buying bikes again and basically just funding the whole program. And then that was kind of a year where it's like, okay, all the pressure's on you. Like, if you want to make this happen, like, you got to go get a ride. And that's what my parents have always said. Like, if you want to do this, like, we can support it for a while, but if you want to make it pro, if you want to race pro, you're going to need to be on a team. We're not going to fully support a privateer program. So that was a lot of pressure that year, but I was able to perform and be able to get a ride. But it all comes down to mindset, mentality, and really just wanting it. And my mom has always told me since I was super little, like, we don't quit. And she's not a quitter. She'll leave her life on the line out there if she has to. And she's instilled that in me. And that's the biggest thing, is just not quitting and having that heart to finish out the races and dedicate yourself to doing something that's a very small population gets to do.
Yeah. So number one, it's like how bad you want it, right? If you really want it bad enough, nothing can stop you.
Yeah, I saw, I'm sure you guys have all seen this, but there's this clip of this guy talking, this motivational speaker, and he's like talking about how he was like holding somebody underwater. And he was like, what were you thinking about when I was holding you underwater? He was like, I just wanted to breathe. And he was like, you'll succeed when you wanna succeed as bad as you wanna breathe. So
yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people have heard that, but
100%.
that's a good quote that I like to live by. And if you want it bad enough, you can go get it, and no one's gonna stop you.
Yeah, and then the next thing you touched on was like that never quit mentality, right?
Yeah. So my mom spent a lot of time in the Navy and just grinding. So she's and she did a lot of running back in the day. So she's just she's a hard worker, and she's super tough. So she'll leave her life out there, and she's not coming in to quit. I remember actually like on 50s, 65s, if I was even training and like pulled off in a moto, I'm getting yelled at like, we don't quit around here, like we're not quitting. If you have to be out there, like if you don't have a bone sticking out or your bike's not broke, you're not pulling off. So,
Damn, I like that.
yeah, and that was my mom. She was hard on me, but at the end of the day, it's builds you and it builds your character. And yeah, I had a lot of days at Moto X compound where, you know, maybe you don't want to do it. And she was out there grinding and telling me that we don't quit. And yeah, that's basically just instilled in me and just got me to where I'm at today.
Yeah, dude, I like that a lot. So it's like that Navy, like militant mentality where it's like, dude, we do not give up. Like that's just what you're taught from a young age.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
huge.
Ever since, yeah, like 50s, 65s, we're not quitters. And
Nice.
I would get yelled at more if I pulled off rather than getting a bad result or something.
Yeah.
So
I think that's huge. That's one thing that I teach a lot too, is not putting too much emphasis on the result, which obviously that's tough in moto because there's so much put on the result. And I'm sure for you, a lot of your career has been like you're expected to win, right? But what's more important, take pride in the effort that you put forth, right? As long as you gave it 100%, you can go home and be proud of the effort that you put in.
yeah, so that's a good example because some of the best rides that I've had in my career throughout amateur races are ones that I didn't even win. Like races where the most recent one that comes to mind is probably Loretta's in 2022. I was on 125s and I crashed on the start, like got sketchy, went into a fence, whatever. And so I was dead last, like 40th. And it was the first moto of the week. And I was coming in like super confident. And I was like, I'm winning both titles this year. And when that happened, I was like, dude, you threw it away in the first turn, like already. And so that moto was 20 minutes. And I came from 40th to third, I think. I think I got third in that race. And that saved I went on to win the title that year in that class. And that saved my championship ride. But I remember coming off the track and going up to the podium. And they're like asking me to do my interview. And I'm like stumbling, like literally about to pass out. And I like took my hat off. And then when they're interviewing me, I'm thinking like sponsors that weren't even like on my, like didn't even sponsor me anymore. And I was so out of it. But like literally like almost blacking out on the podium just because leaving it all out there. And I wanted that title so bad that, yeah, I put everything into that because, you know, all the effort you put in leading up to that moment. And then something like that happens and you got to keep your head up and say this is still possible even from being way back here.
Yeah. And you went on to win those titles that year?
Yeah, I ended up winning both titles at Loretta's that year on 125s.
Nice. Right on. Cool, bro. Well, I appreciate that. That was one thing I wanted to dive in is like the mindset, the character traits. And I'm sure we'll touch on more of that as we go. But what I want to do now is kind of just like tell your story from the beginning and almost break down the habits from the very beginning as to like what got you to be honestly just like as fast as you are, right? I think a lot of people don't realize the honestly just like amount of seat time that it takes to get as fast as you are. So first of all, like how old were you when you started riding dirt bikes?
I got my first bike when I was 3.
3 years old. Like a PW or something like that?
It was a CRF 50.
CRF 50, okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
With training wheels.
Oh, with the training wheels, right on.
Yeah.
Dude, the kids are lucky these days on the Stay Six.
They got it.
Like 2 years old, they're getting a head start.
I know. I see guys out here, literally like little kids that are like, yeah, like 2.5 years old, ripping on Stay Six. And I'm like, dude, this guy in like 10 years, he's going to be faster than me.
Yeah, 100%. But all right, so started at 3 years old. And then when did you do your first race? At what age?
Yeah, so I'll just get into the whole story, I guess. I did my first race when I was 3. It was on on that CRF 50. It had like blue plastics on. I don't know why. But my grandpa owned a motorcycle dealership, so he got it for me for my for Christmas, I think, maybe birthday, one of the two. And yeah, I went and raced it with training wheels on, and it was one of those little indoor like arena cross things, like a super local arena cross. and I don't remember this. I just remember stories. They're like telling me, like being on training wheels, going through like the whoops and just getting stuck like in the track.
Damn,
and
racing on training wheels.
on training wheels.
Damn.
That's got to be a hazard for the other guys out there. So I apologize to anyone I was racing, but yeah. So that's when it started, and then I just rode. We had a little track in our backyard, a little turn track. I grew up in Tennessee, so I lived there from until I was probably about 9 years old. And the summer of, it would have been, or in 2012 was the first year I tried to go to Loretta's. And that's when I got a P-dub and started doing area qualifiers and stuff. And I would have been, I don't know, what is it, six years old maybe?
Okay.
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah, so started doing area qualifiers, went to Loretta's that year in 2012, and I got 11th on a P-dub at Loretta's. And then the next year after that, we kind of like started taking it a little more serious, and I was still in school at this time, and during summer, I went to Zach Mashburn's, and I don't know if you've heard of him or not, but he used to have a training facility out in Texas, I believe. And I went out there for the summer on a junior 50 and trained all summer at like 6 years old.
6 years old. How many days a week were you riding?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I would assume probably 4 or 5.
4 or 5 days a week.
And that was probably throughout like a 2-month span throughout the summer. But then when I was in school, I would always go to school, and then my dad would come pick me up from school with the bike in the back, and we'd go hit like a local track or something all the time. So I never really stopped riding, but it wasn't super serious. It was just have fun and just enjoy it. And then I went to Loretta's that year in 2013 and won on a junior. And then, yeah, ever since then, we've kind of just taken it serious. And then I got homeschooled after that. In about 3rd grade, I got homeschooled. So, yeah. And then after that, we took the chance. Me and my mom, we all sold our house in Tennessee. We sold our house and bought a motorhome, and we lived in a motorhome at Matt Walker's.
Wow, and that's a training facility?
And yeah, at Moto X compound. Yeah, so I lived at Matt Walker's at Moto X compound. We moved there when I was probably 9. And yeah, at 9 years old, like you gotta think, at 9 years old, we sell our house to go live in a motorhome to commit to riding dirt bikes.
Dirt bikes at the highest level at 9.
At 9, yeah. And so we went to Moto X compound, and I was riding 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
I don't know, I was there for 3 years. So 5 days a week for 3 years, just every single day on 65s, 85s, all throughout that. And then, yeah. Moved to Florida at about when I was 13 probably. And then, been there ever since. And same schedule, but now we don't ride. I don't ride as much now, just normally 4 days a week. Take that Wednesday off. So, because it's a bit gnarlier of riding, I guess. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's been a lot of seat time throughout the years.
That's crazy. Do you think someone who can just ride on the weekends, like Saturday and Sunday, 2 days a week, could get to a professional level? Or you think like that 3 or 4 is needed?
I think at a certain point you do. It depends on maybe what professional level.
Yeah.
I mean,
not a factory ride.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stages in like professional racing, obviously. Like the guys that just like fill the gate and outdoors, I guess. They're not making much money, but I mean, I think someone who rides on the weekends, if you really trained hard enough and committed, then you could. Like become a professional racer, just not at the highest level. So, but I think it depends on the age, because there's a lot of people I know that are pro now that didn't start riding until they were like 13.
But then they had that stint of time where they were riding 4 days a week, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So they got good at it, and then by probably 15, 16, they were riding 3, 4, 5 days a week. So yeah. But it's not necessarily you have to start when you're 3 years old. There's guys that wait and do it. But, it's all about your commitment, really. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense for sure. All right. And then through that time, like through your just progression, riding 4 or 5 days a week, was there like, what were the major injuries and setbacks in terms of time off? Was there much in there?
I had a long time span where I didn't get hurt for a while. I broke both of my legs when I was 9 years old on a
Damn.
65. Yeah, so I broke my right femur and left tib fib, and that actually wasn't too bad of a setback. It was only like 2-3 months, and that was at a. Actually, it's a funny story. I did that at an area qualifier, and I had already done one before, so I qualified to go to the regional before that, and that was just like a backup one, and so yeah, I broke my legs there, and then um, I did physical therapy like every single day with my mom. She would take me to the pool every single day, swim, just walking in the water, trying to get
Took it very serious.
very serious, like every single day, just grinding to get that thing back so I could go to a regional and still race. And I went to the regional. I was on a 50 still, and then I won Loretta's that year
Damn.
from breaking legs. Like I think it was like 3 months before Loretta's, and then won it. And
Crazy.
that just shows like how my mom and dad really like just put in the effort and wanted it for me. So yeah, I'm super grateful to have had that opportunity.
Definitely, bro. Right on. So no like crazy amounts of time off, some injuries here and there, but nothing like no years off in the middle there.
No, nothing really crazy. I mean, we always took time off after like big races, after Loretta's and stuff. But
Month or something.
yeah, like a month here and there. But nothing that was. I was pretty consistent ever since I was probably 7 years old, riding year round. So nothing that really took me off the bike for a while.
Yeah, consistency. That's the key there.
Yep.
Okay, back to mindset. I have a question. On the races that you perform the best at, what would you feel is the mentality that you went into it? Like the best mindset that helps you perform the best going into a race?
So I actually have been kind of like questioning this myself as well, going like the past few years, probably the last 3 years. And the thing I found that works best for me, everyone's different, is just like loosening up and just being loose down at the gate, like preparing for the race. But then I have that switch where you get on the gate and the gate's about to drop and it's like, okay, it's race mode, like let's go. But all the way leading up, like I perform better when I'm more comfortable, and instead of like all like tight and like super serious. Like when I won the futures title, I remember I was going down to the gate with my mechanic. We're like laughing, making jokes, like messing around and staging, and even Loretta's this past year, just like joking around, having fun up until the gate drops. That's just keep my mind off of kind of like the nerves and like getting too worked up about it. I feel like that really helps me, is just the taking it easy and not stressing too much.
Yeah. So being calm, relaxed, having fun.
Yeah.
Keeping the like have fun, laughing, talking shit to your mechanic on the walk up.
A lot of people, I mean, some guys, they get down there, they don't say anything, like they're super zoned in, locked in, and that works for some people. And I guess I'm just more of a laid back kind of guy and I like being loose and just having fun. So, and making the most out of everything. So yeah, that's what works for me.
Probably the more enjoyable approach too. Have fun, right? It's dirt bikes, right?
Yeah, we're all having fun out
Yeah.
here. That's the main reason we're all here, is to have fun, and yeah, that's the main goal.
I think that's key. So you never been one of those guys to freaking get hype on the line, start screaming, smacking your helmet, that sort of thing?
I mean, I'll hype myself up a little bit, like, but nothing crazy like some of the guys, like you see Jet and guys like screaming, like
Sexton, I think, does a lot of that.
Yeah, they do a lot of that, and like I'll do stuff to like hype myself up, but nothing too crazy.
Gotcha. Right on. I think that's what works best for me too. I'm more of a laid back, but I think it's also important maybe for everybody to kind of try all the different approaches and see what works best for them.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a personal thing. I know like Cooper Webb, he's probably not very talkative down there at the gate, I would assume. I haven't raced against him, but just what you can tell, he's probably pretty locked in, and he makes it work. So it's all preference and what works best for you.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is like just not getting too much in your head, right? Overthinking things, and then you're like going through the whole race that didn't even happen yet, and just causing more stress than is necessary is probably not ideal.
Yeah, a bit. I remember I used to worry so much about the race, and like when I was littler, and worry about the outcome and worry about, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? And then now I'm just like, all right, we're going to go out, we're going to do the best we can, and I'm going to lay everything I can out there and give it all I have. And whatever it is what it is. And obviously I have goals and achievements that I've set for myself. But as long as I give it 100% at the end of the day and I'm satisfied with the effort I put in, then you can't be too mad.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, cool. So now basically you're a couple days away from, I guess you've already done a couple pro races, right? But this is like the first full season that you're going after. So are you trying to take that same mentality into this first race? Have fun, kind of stay calm, chill, or is there? I'm sure there's a lot of nerves going into it, right? Um, are you setting goals? Like, do you have a list of goals? Like, what does that process look like for you?
Yeah, so it's been weird coming into the other series, I guess, because you're not really in a points battle or a points fight, like with the few supercrosses I did. So it's not that like there's like less lack of motivation, but it's like you're out there riding, competing, but like at the end of the day, I guess there's nothing really like you're like really fighting for. So coming into a first full season where it's like everyone resets, we're all at zero, and we're all competing for the same thing. Yeah, it all comes together, and maybe it racks up the nerves a little bit, but yeah, it gives you more to fight for me, I guess, instead of these last few races. But not like I haven't been trying, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited to actually get a full season under my belt, get a lot of races, get a lot of learning, and yeah, I'm new to this, so it's not like I haven't been riding, but new to the pro thing, and these guys have been doing it for years. So if I can come out and get some top tens, I'll be stoked with that.
Yeah. Okay. So top 10 is kind of the goals. Do you have like, have you written these things out? Is like goal setting a process that you go through often?
Not really. I've never been a huge person of like writing things down.
Okay.
I'll do it all in my head. Like I'll think before I go and be like, okay, this is where I want to be, and this is what I strive for. Um, but I've never written things down. I know people that do. I have friends that do write things down, write their goals down, and that I've heard that's very like helpful and a really good thing to do is like see your goals every morning. And I like that idea actually. I just have never got around to it personally, but yeah, goals this year is just I want to come out at this first round at Paula, get top 10 in both motos, and then just carry the momentum throughout the season.
Right on. I think you should do that. I think
Hmm.
you should get down, get a piece of paper and like list them out, bro.
Yeah, I think it would be good. I actually need to look into that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just freaking the way I like to break it down, we teach people. So we do the whole MX Fitco thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we like people join a 16-week program. So we have people set like a 4-week goal, an 8-week goal, a 16-week goal. And then we like to do like a 6-month and a 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes even further, like a 3 to 5 year goal.
Yeah, I like that because you can see like as you're progressing
Yeah.
and want to like see the little goals that you can reach, and then you feel accomplished getting there, and then go to the next and go to the next and progress. So yeah, I like that, and I might look into start doing that.
Yeah, you should. And then we tell people read that shit every single morning.
Yeah.
Read it every day and just like ingrain it in your brain that like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do. These are my goals, and I'm gonna pull it off.
I like that actually, like almost it being like a checklist. Like you can write it down, and then once you achieve that, you get to check it off, and then go to the next. Like build up the ladder until you're
Yeah.
the
And then
best,
you
I
can
guess.
always you'll find that your goals change too.
Yeah.
So like the 3 to 5 year goal that you have today, maybe, dude, like 6 months down the road, it might be completely different. Maybe you're like in 3 years, you know what, I want to be like on a 450, you know, in a factory ride, and then you go win these first 2 championships, and then it's like, all right, bro, we're gonna win the title in 3 to
Yeah.
5 years or something, right? So
Yeah.
things will change for sure.
Yeah,
But
I hope to be in that position. Say you write down a goal, it's like, oh, I want to top 5 this series, and you come out and win, and you just launched your goals way higher than even anticipated.
yeah.
So no, I like that.
Heck yeah. All right. I want to kind of dive into a little bit of like the fitness side of things. A lot of my audience is going to be people that want to improve their fitness, want to get in better shape, and want to just get better at dirt bikes in general, move or improve their technique and all those sorts of things. So I kind of want to learn a little bit about that from you. But I guess my question right now, since I want to just kind of hear what you're up to right now, you're going into, you know, this season. Have you had like some sort of like boot camp phase over the past like month or something where it's just been like gnarly training, or like what has that been what does that look like for you?
Well, the main boot camp area is normally before Supercross,
Mm.
and it's really where everyone hunkers down and really grinds for a couple months before Supercross. And then the window between Supercross and outdoors is so small that we kind of just like stay the normal program, like kind of stay in season training because you get one off weekend, so it's basically like you're still in the same season. And so I missed most of the boot camp this past year from injuries. So I never really had a time where I was like super like aggressively training. So right now, kind of just still in that like mid-season prep. I mean, just still grinding, hitting the gym two days a week, and cardio 2 days a week, and then riding four. So that's just the normal schedule. Unless where it's a race weekend, it changes around a little bit. But yeah, that's the normal schedule, and nothing too crazy. Just busting out a lot of motos and a lot of sprints.
Yeah.
And
Focus on riding for sure, huh?
yeah, and then when you get to this level, a lot of people don't do like a bunch of technique work anymore, which I like. I love doing technique work. I feel like you can always improve your technique no matter what caliber rider you are. I mean, technique is so important with being able to just learn how to ride the bike and control the bike, and then that progresses you to become a faster rider. So like you look at the best guys in the world like Jet, he has probably some of the most perfect technique you'll see riding a bike, and he can go as fast as he does because of that. So yeah, a lot of guys at the pro level kind of push the technique training away, and just focus on motos and endurance and speed. But I like to keep it in a little bit and still focus on progressing technique and then doing endurance stuff as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So your normal schedule right now, you just broke down 4 days a week of riding. Typically that's like if there's no racing, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yep, exactly.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday riding, and then normally if it's just a normal week no race, we'll cycle Wednesday, cycle Saturday, and then gyms usually Tuesday, Thursday
Okay.
after riding.
Gotcha. So you're pretty much most days you're stacking some sort of workout, whether that be cycling or gym on top of motos.
Yeah, so every day we really don't have any off days where we don't do anything. Um, literally every single day we're doing something. So even on the days that we don't ride, such as Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, is some sort of cardio. And then Wednesdays and Saturdays are always like on road cycles. And then on Sundays, it's normally just like a 20-minute low heart rate spinner.
So that's a recovery.
Yeah.
That's a recovery ride.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
the Sundays are normally like the most off day we get, and it's normally just like a 20-minute like recovery spin is what we do. And but every single day we're doing something. No off days, I guess.
No days off.
No days off.
I like it. All right. And then on those like Wednesdays and Saturdays when you're doing the cycle, what does that look like? Is that like super long? What's like the kind of heart rates that you go for? What does that look like?
Yeah, we're normally Wednesdays are normally an hour 15-ish around that area, and that's normally about like 20, just over 20 miles for us. And yeah, heart rate just 130 to 160, anywhere in there.
Okay.
And it goes up and down because we have a group of riders, and we'll all pull and then draft and then pull, switch out.
Okay.
So yeah, normally Wednesdays are that, and then Saturdays hour and a half, which is normally 30 miles on a road bike, and same thing, just same heart rate zones.
Gotcha.
And then sometimes some days we'll have like gnarly road bike rides where we're just like sprinting for like sometimes we'll go with Alden, and he's pretty fast on a road bike, and those guys rip, and it's like all out, like heart rate over 150, like over 160, like the whole time, just grinding. For me, at least. I don't know about the other guys, but it's sometimes a struggle for me to keep up with those guys.
Yeah.
And, but then sometimes, like in season, we'll do a lot of recovery rides on like Wednesdays where it's just lower stuff, like heart rate under 150. That's just more in season training, so you're not wasting energy that needs to be spent on the race weekends.
Yeah, it's mostly aerobic stuff. It's kind of like the way we look at it, or the scientific fitness term behind it all. Build the aerobic base.
Yep. Yep. And then the more like gnarly stuff is normally like during boot camp, or when you're just trying to build and just extend that threshold of what you can do. And it's crazy. Like I remember probably like 2 years ago, or no, it was probably a year ago. I started doing like a little bit of running. I've never been a runner. Ever since I broke my legs, I have like hated running.
Mm-hmm.
And I would never run more than like 3 miles, 4 miles. And because I just hated it. And I did like I would think like 4 miles at like a pretty good pace is like pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
And which it is tough. And I would think, dang, like how can I do more than this? And then one day I just got up and I was like, all right, I'm gonna run 10 miles today.
You
And
did it?
like literally off the couch, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And then I ran it and stayed like in the eights for 8 minute pace for 10 miles. Not 8 minutes, but like it was like 8:40 or something, 8:50,
Yeah.
which is slow, but not bad for
Not
10
if you're
miles.
running 10 miles and you're off the couch.
Yeah, like no really run training, and it kind of just opens your mind to what like you're really capable of. Like you do these short runs and you're like, oh, like this is tough, but then you do something like that and then you go back to your normal and it's like, oh, like you really open your mind and open the window of, okay, my body can handle so much more than what I previously thought, and you realize what is actually hard and what is a little easier. And then I'm sure like there's guys out there that run hundreds of miles at a certain time. Like those guys are insane. I'm sure their mental strength is off the charts.
Mm-hmm. That's huge, bro. Mental toughness.
Yeah.
It reminds me, you say that David Goggins has a quote where he says, when you're something along these lines, I'll probably botch it a little bit, but it's like, when your mind is telling you you're done, you can't take another step, you're completely like, you're done. Your body is really only at like 40% of what it's truly capable of.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
No, that's exactly. I actually read his whole Can't Hurt Me book.
Yeah.
Have you read it?
Yeah, I listened to it.
Yeah, listen to it. It's insane. He's a gnarly dude, and his mental strength and toughness is crazy. And yeah, I look up to that guy like some of the stuff he's done and accomplished is insane. And yeah, it's unfathomable.
Mm-hmm. Anybody listening to this, if you haven't read or listened to Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, like do it.
If you get the opportunity to buy that or listen to it, I recommend.
Got to. That's a non-negotiable for me. Like a lot of times we tell all of our clients to read that too.
Yeah, I totally stand by that. Like it is a book that will really open your mind to what your body is really capable of.
Mm-hmm. And you'll find yourself just like pushing a little bit harder when you're in the gym. Like you'll go a little bit more and you'll realize like, I'm only at 40% right now, bro. I got way more in me.
Yeah. I remember seeing this quote from him, from Goggins as well. He was like, I get up every day and I don't want to do this. He's like, I don't want to go out there and do this, but I make myself do this. And I'm out here every single day grinding. So if you ever get up and don't think about doing it, just know I'm out there working and you're sitting here on the couch. He says, I'm out there every single day. So if you ever don't want to do it, just think, well, he's out there grinding right now. So
and also
you're not grinding alone.
Yeah. Also maybe think that your competitors are probably out there grinding too, right?
Yeah. The people you want to beat are out there grinding. So yeah, that's whenever you get up and you're like, I really don't want to do what's on the schedule today. I mean, there's other people out there that don't want to do it, but they're getting it done.
They're doing it. Discipline is about doing what you don't want to do and doing it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right on. And then, okay, so cycling, we went through that. And then you said you do gym 2 days a week?
Yeah, just a strength workout, just full body, some legs, arms, core.
Okay.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays. And those exercises always switch every single week.
Okay.
So my trainer, Justin Boyd, he writes all that. And yeah, that's basically it.
And a lot of times he just has a program written for you and you have it on your phone. You'll just go follow the program for the most part? Or is he there a lot of times?
When I'm in Florida, he's always there.
Okay.
He's there every Tuesday and Thursday. But when I'm out here and he's still in Florida, he'll send it to me and then I go get it done in the gym. But most of the time he's always there.
Gotcha. And that's mainly strength. Is that like kind of like circuit style where you'll stack a few exercises back to back and like repeat a circuit?
Yeah, it's normally like 2 or 3 exercises and then 3 sets, and then you go to another 2 or 3 exercises for 3 sets, and then another, and then so on.
Gotcha. How long does one of those workouts usually take you?
About an hour. It's normally about an hour. We'll do like a few. It's normally like 10 workouts for 3 sets.
Gotcha.
And then like a core finisher at the end.
Gotcha.
And then
Lots of core, huh?
Yeah, a lot of core. Everything that we do, like even the leg stuff and arm stuff, is all like normally like core incorporated as well. Like when you're doing pull ups and stuff, obviously you use a lot of core
Yeah.
and push ups and everything. So even the arm stuff and leg stuff is normally incorporated with core as well.
Yeah. And then do you track your heart rate in those workouts?
Yeah.
What is that? What's like the max usually and the average?
Um, it's tough because they really depend. Sometimes,
Depends on the
we'll do like a sled push and pull as like a leg workout,
That'll spike it.
and that spikes it to like 165. And but some days we don't do that, and it won't get over like 130, and
Right.
it's pretty mellow. But it really just depends on the workout. But it's normally never higher than 160 in the gym. I mean,
Gotcha.
and normally just averages around like that 115
Yeah.
threshold right
Okay.
there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right on. So it's, yeah, most of the gym stuff is not like super high intensity.
No, nothing
Gotcha.
like we don't. I know a lot of people train like in the gym, like fast paced circuits, like keeping heart rate up while they're doing it, and I'm sure that's good for you as well. We don't do that though.
There's something to consider with the fact that you're riding 4 days a week at really high heart rates.
Yeah.
That like you don't need to be doing more of that in the gym
Yeah.
because you're getting your high heart rate stuff in on the bike.
Yeah, we're doing two
Yeah.
35-minute motos right before we go to the gym. Like we've done enough cardio for the
Yeah,
day.
exactly. Yeah. So like for the people, and this is just like to preface, because like we assign certain people that type of stuff, but it's because they're riding 1 or 2 days a week, and so they need a little more high intensity stuff, right?
Yeah, if
So-
all the days we go to the gym, we've already knocked out. We probably had at least an hour plus of cardio previous to that. So then we go to the gym and it's not really cardio
Yeah,
based.
it's not about cardio anymore there.
Yeah. But
Gotcha.
if you aren't putting in that cardio time before, then I'm sure doing a little faster paced stuff, getting your heart rate up and kind of combo and cardio and gym together is not a bad idea.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then in your motos, do you track? I'm sure you track your heart rate in your motos. What is like typically a max heart rate in your motos?
Like 200, 190, 195, 200 normally.
What about average?
Always. It always, if you look at the heart rate like scale when we're done motoing, it normally starts at about like 160, like even like off rip like 160, and then just gradually up all the way until the end, and it just gets higher and higher and higher progressively throughout the moto. And
Gotcha.
yeah, it probably starts around that 150 area, and then yeah, just up and up and up, and then the last few laps of a moto 195, yeah, pushing 200 probably.
Damn, that's so gnarly.
Yeah, it's gnarly, but it's what it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're like racing, what percentage intensity level would you say you're at? Like, are you giving it 100%? Would you say you're riding at 90% most of the moto? I know there's times where you got to push a little bit harder to get by somebody, but what does that look like in terms of your intensity throughout a moto?
It's crazy the difference. I raced those 2 outdoor races last year, pro races, and the intensity difference between the pro racing and amateur racing, like I would say throughout most of my amateur career, I mean, you're riding at 100%, but if you get out front and you're like managing a lead, like you can ride at like 85, 90%, like just be comfortable. But dude, those pro nationals, I was out there like putting 100% in for like 15, 20 minutes straight, and then like you're like done. It's like smoked. Like, because these guys they don't stop. They're just on it the whole moto. Like intensity is through the roof, and you don't really get that kind of racing in amateurs at all. And then when you get there, it's super eye-opening experience. It's like, wow, these guys are so gnarly. Like, yeah, I remember at Budds Creek, my first race, just trying to like keep up. I think I was in like 15th place or something. And Levi Kitchen had won the Unadilla before that. He like won a moto at Unadilla. I don't know if he won the overall, but I was in 15th place, and I have Levi Kitchen behind me and like a factory Cowie in front of me. I'm like, dude, we're battling for 15th place, and it's all just factory guys around me, and like they're giving it all, just fighting back and forth. And yeah, I remember like I hung on for like 20 minutes, and then dude, I was gassed. I like hit a wall, because it's like you're so not used to just pushing that hard for
that long.
And then those guys do it every weekend. It's so gnarly. So now I have to be able to adjust to that and step up to that level.
Yeah. I think there's also something to be said too, where like, I mean, if you look at Jet, bro, like there's no way he's going 100% the
No
whole
way.
way, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't understand. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's just so flowy on the bike and so much roll speed that it makes it
Mm-hmm.
look so easy. Like, and he's so in control that it makes it look, yeah, like he's
Yeah.
not even like he's riding maybe 80%. Which if he has another 20% in there, I don't even know if I want to see it.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Crazy.
Yeah,
Right on. All
unreal.
right. Another thing I want to talk about is nutrition. I mean, what'd you eat? I got to ask you this one. What's your race day diet?
Race day diet. So normally, for a race day, we're staying at hotels and stuff. So I'll normally get up for Supercross. We will go get breakfast somewhere at some local breakfast place or something, maybe like a First Watch or something. And I'll just get like eggs and like a protein and maybe like some toast or something, just like a standard breakfast. And then at the track, we have our truck driver, which is I'm very thankful to be on a factory team which supplies this, and he'll cook like chicken all day, rice, broccoli, some like a few potatoes and stuff, and literally I'll just eat that on repeat, just over and over, just the same meal. Like if we're racing Supercross, I'll eat chicken and rice with broccoli at like probably lunchtime, and then at like 2 o'clock again, and then at like 5 o'clock again, and then just like continuously just putting calories in all day, just building.
Mm-hmm.
And it's normally just that same meal, just because
Yeah.
it's easy to access and
Mm-hmm.
it's free. So
Yeah. Lots of, is there a focus on the rice, would you say? Like lots of carbs to kind of give you energy, or is it just kind of just balanced?
yeah, just balance. I'm not on
Yeah.
a super strict diet. I know a lot of guys are.
Mm-hmm.
They're on a super strict diet. I'm not on anything super crazy. Obviously, I don't eat like junk, and like you want to fuel your body with like good food and good stuff. But I'm nothing super strict. Like some of the guys are like completely dairy free and like completely like no red meat, gluten free, and I'm none of that. I'll enjoy some mac and cheese if I want.
Gotcha. Do you want to get on a super strict diet regimen at some point?
I don't know. I've talked to Justin about it, and he's like, if you burn so much, and as long as you're getting good calories, like it's not fast food or like Chick-fil-A all the time,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not too big of a deal. I don't think. I mean, maybe it really helps a lot of people, and I haven't really committed to a crazy diet personally ever, which I used to eat worse than I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like nothing fried or nothing like too crazy, like no fast food. And if I'm gonna go out and eat, like get just grilled chicken or something with some veggies. But yeah, nothing too crazy for me. No dairy free, no gluten free. I'll enjoy a nice steak.
Nice.
So
You gotta love some steak every once in a while, huh?
yeah, a lot of people, or no, a lot of guys eat red meat. I know, but Alden is super like doesn't like it. So I know some of his guys, maybe like maybe Malcolm and RJ, maybe those guys like stay away from it. But yeah, I know a lot of people do like red meat, and I know it can like boost a lot of stuff for you, like iron and everything. So I enjoy it, and I think it helps me out. So
Right on.
I don't really want to cut it out.
Yeah, I think it's depends on the person too. Like I heard, I think it was Hunter Lawrence in an interview talking about just like some of the stuff he's dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
He almost has to be on a very strict diet, but he says Jet on the other hand doesn't, and he
Yeah.
kind of eats some bullshit sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
he's the donut guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
depends on the person and your own health and all that stuff for sure.
Yeah, it's very, just personal. If you can eat whatever and your body performs to a high level still, then go for it, I guess. But
Right.
nothing like too crazy, obviously. You don't want to be waking up, going to eat donuts and
Yeah.
then fried food all the time. Go eat Raisin Canes every night. It's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, I think there's also something to be said too for like, especially at your level, like every like 1% gain that you can get to be like the 1% better to perform at a higher level, like take it, right? Because like, dude, you're on a factory ride trying to be the best, but yeah.
Yeah, the thing that has helped the most, honestly, even that's so important that I didn't really think about too much is just resting. Like even throughout my amateur career, like I never like really focused on like recovery a ton. And whenever you're racing every weekend, and these pro races are every single weekend, you're grinding on the weekends, even throughout the week. Like rest is so important with like sleeping, making sure you get like a lot of people run off of different kinds of sleep, but I need at least like 8 hours of sleep or else I'm like unfunctional really. So yeah, I got to focus really heavily on just getting good sleep and taking that time to rest and be able to wind down and really committing to that. It really shows how much you can build in the long run because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about recovery enough. I know a lot of people do, but it's so important whenever you're putting in so much effort that yeah, it's big.
Yeah, especially with you guys, man, how much you ride and train and everything. And we kind of see it in the moto industry a lot, like those like diseases that people get. What's the main one that everybody gets?
Uh,
It's like I'm blanking on it. It's
Yeah.
something to do with herpes, though, isn't it? Yeah.
No,
Isn't it? No?
No. I don't think it has to do with herpes.
No, it does, bro.
What?
Fuck, what's it called?
I know what you're talking about.
That everyone gets.
Epstein-Barr?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a strain of herpes.
It has to do
bro.
with herpes?
Yeah. Don't be getting that, bro.
No, yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're
I
talking
swear it
about. A lot
does.
of people do get it, and that messes you up.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's just from like, not enough recovery, I believe, and just pushing
Yep.
too hard. Because I guess you, at the end of the day, you can push too hard. There's like a fine line.
There's a fine line between being Goggins and like being a normal human.
That's what he talks about in his books a lot too. He's like, don't
Don't try to be
replicate some of
me.
the stuff. He's like, it's messed up my body in some ways.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's pretty much all I got for you. I feel like I had one other thing that I wanted to touch on, but let's see, what are we at? We're 48 minutes into it. I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, cool. Well, hey, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure if you're watching it on YouTube, subscribe. I'm gonna keep coming at you with more, and then I think I'm gonna post this on like Spotify, wherever, Apple Podcasts, or everybody else listens to them.
Yeah, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, check it out. But cool. All right, appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, catch you on the next one.